Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Original Next Level Gaming Podcast. I am happy to see everybody here this week on this wonderful Sunday night. What's going on, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those.
It was a long day.
Yeah, long weekend.
No, not long enough. Just the day was long.
Yeah, no kidding. So, good. So it looks like once again, everything was fine with my webcam until we actually clicked start, and now I'm freezing. That's awesome.
That's what happens when you don't have problems before the show.
Right. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You know, I'm whatever. I'll figure it out one day. I don't know how important it is. Nobody wants to see me anyway. It's all about you guys. So, man. Yeah, the weekend's not long enough. What's going on, Peter?
I need another day. I spent the morning at the zoo, so running around up and down that hill. And as soon as you're done, it's like, oh yeah, I still want to see this. It's like, all right, back up the hill. And like,
that I don't understand how you build how the Washington D.C. Zoo is built on an incline. It makes no sense to me. Never has.
Well, I guess better than excavating, having some flooding.
Well, this is true, but
it's good for sea lions and stuff, but not for the real lions.
Nice. So, yeah, you like that zoo though.
Yeah, my daughter loves the zoo, so I'll be there. I don't know. Every other month, or
your two favorite places are the zoo and Great Wolf Lodge.
Yeah. I don't know if it's my favorite place, but that's where I am.
It's your wallet's favorite place. That's not your wallet's favorite place.
My
that's
wallet
for sure.
Would rather run off, but yeah.
So, all right. Well, have you had much time for gaming?
A little bit last week. Found a flaming skull in Diablo 3 with. I was playing with Nathan, so that's pretty cool.
That's a rare item.
It's a rare item, so it looks cool. Looks cool.
Does look cool.
Nice.
So what else? That's pretty much it, I think. I don't know.
All right. Juan.
Hey.
What's going on, man?
Everything.
Yeah, you too. You too with the busy.
Yeah, just work and had my Lamborghini weekend.
Yes.
The previous weekend. Been doing a fair amount of gaming. I'm getting caught up on some backlog stuff, and I'll have some on that later. And then I had I had been coughing a lot. I had some respiratory thing going on, so it's really tough.
You don't say.
No, yeah, it's
contagious. It's contagious. It's been going around, and then
everyone's gonna feel lucky tonight. I'm probably more quiet than usual to everyone's enjoyment because. What I find is after a day of talking all day at work, it's worse. So I've had a real trouble getting videos made, but just about over that. So I finally got an Evo in the can. Should have another one else coming soon, but
yeah, I'll grab that.
And just tried making pickles for the first time tonight, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
that's what that was. I didn't click on the picture. I just saw it.
I'll show the picture.
Yeah,
I'll grab the picture real quick.
Well, not the cake. Didn't make the cake.
No. How about we?
But I want to make the cake.
Yeah, how about
I want
we
the
not?
Cake.
Oh no, you don't. No,
I want the cake. I want to try.
Are you joking? I thought you were joking. You really want to eat that?
I want the cake. I love bologna and mayo and mustard. So so why not? But I mean, I try anything once. But anyway, yeah, homegrown cucumbers. And canning them at home and everything. I try to make some homemade pickles. See how those turn out. And those are all in the canning process now, which I learned tonight. So I'm sure it's all boned. And
you know what you need for canning? You need Power Pressure Cooker XL.
That's what I've heard. But we went with the old. We wanted to go. We wanted to go like
old school.
old school Oregon Trail time and with the boiling hot water
Oh,
bath.
good. So after you eat the pickles, you'll get dysentery.
Right. That's
Yeah,
the idea.
exactly.
Which will
We'll
save me
never
from the
reach
can.
Oregon.
But,
No.
but yeah, no, it'll be interesting. I imagine. I don't know. I think I effed up the canning process. So I think like of my 8 cans, 4 of them aren't going to seal. I'm gonna have to eat a ton of pickles in like 3 days.
You can ship
The
some
other
to
ones-
me. I'm good.
Well, they're already good anyway. But no, gaming wise, I guess the big thing for me was it hasn't updated yet, and I don't know if it's down right now because I've been trying to keep an eye on it, but it's not working for me on my login. But finally, I got the gamer score and achievements and bucket list done for Forza Horizon 3 on the rewards page. So now I have full rewards completion all the way from Forza Horizon 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6,
No.
Apex, Horizon 1, 2, and 3, and the Fast and Furious standalone on the rewards page. So I don't know how many other people have done it. I imagine there's others, I'm sure, but that's a lot of Forza.
I hate the one where you need tokens.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
should just
Oh,
at this
right.
point give them for free. Fill those out. It's like it's way past.
It's it helps out if you do I do the ultimate editions and such, and so I got some
Right.
tokens with that, and that counts. So
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't know what Forza that was. 4 or 3, I think.
I think it was 5 when the token started, because it was the big hubbubaloo about microtransactions, which we're going to get into tonight anyway, and I have some opinions on that as well. But
Because 4 didn't have anything that you could buy outright. Like
Right.
it was all in done.
Yep. The Lamborghini was a blast. I don't know if we want to get.
Fun.
I don't know if I want to get super deep into it now, because I've got a video coming from the people who put it on of the in-car with the coach riding along and then from the dash. But my wife did get a pretty cool vertical video, because apparently I haven't trained her, but a vertical video of it from the sidelines. It was a real hoot. Anytime you can kind of get the back end of a $250,000 car sideways out on you a little bit and have to Tokyo drift it a bit is something else.
Yeah, the side videos looked really cool. I can't wait to see the in-car. So when you get that, we'll do a segment on that.
Yeah.
Oh. Awesome. What's up, Frankie?
I want to confirm that it's Forza 5 with the tokens.
Yeah.
Cool. What's up, Frankie?
Not much. Coming off a two-week work week.
Yep.
So weekend's been way too short.
Right.
But I played a bunch of stuff since last time I was here. That's exciting.
Yeah, tell us
So-
about it.
Yeah, so I'll run through them all real quick. What Remains of Edith Finch? I know Juan's spoken very highly of this on here already. Everything he said, I totally agree with it. So if you're looking for a really good single-player, story-driven game, I strongly recommend checking that game out. A lot of the kind of mini stories for each character are really cool. There is one that's kind of a little too drawn out, but like even still, it's really good. So it's $20 wherever you want to play it. Pick it up, play through it. It's great. You'll love it. What order do I want to do these in? What
Fantastic
else?
game. That love that game.
It is. It's great. I've been working on Mass Effect Andromeda, which, if that game didn't have Mass Effect in the title, I think it would be a really good sci-fi game. But it just there's a lot about it that it's hard for me to get motivated, get in and play it. The story is all right. It's just kind of really generic, like everything that can go wrong will go wrong thing in space. So the main character I'm playing is the guy version. So Scott Ryder, he just doesn't seem like he's very interested in anything that's going on. So you see his face every so often. It's just this like, yeah, we're doing a good team. Like he just looks so bored. So it kind of breaks the immersion a little bit. But outside of like that, I mean, the story is it's interesting enough that I'm curious to see where it goes. But the combat in the game though is really fun. I've been having a really good time getting in there because you have these different abilities. they're kind of like mapped to your bumpers or triggers. And so like while you're aiming, you hit L1, R1, or both of them, and you'll fire a concussive grenade, or you can like shoot a cryo freeze beam thing. So messing around with those has been pretty cool. So that's kind of been like the thing that keeps drawing me back in. So about 13 hours in right now. So I don't probably still like it's not a significant amount of time or anything, but kind of dragging my way through that one. I've been messing around with Elder Scrolls Legends on my phone because that finally came out. It's free to play. So it's it's a card battling game, which I don't really ever play any of those, but I always figured like if I get one on my phone, like that feels like the perfect device for something like that. So I've been kind of messing around with that at work during some downtime. So it's really cool. Been really neat, like learning how the mechanics in the game work. It's like all the shadow lane and like kind of learning like how to build a deck and like actually like mess around with some of the game mechanics and stuff. So it's been really fun. It's, like I said, free to play. So if you have an Android or an iOS phone, grab it, try it out. And the other thing is Tacoma. Yeah,
how was that?
I loved it. It was really, really good. I finished that yesterday night. It's great. I never played Gone Home, so I don't have that comparison to their last game. But the story was excellent. It's exploration based, but you're kind of like finding out what happened to the crew on this space station. So as you're going to these different areas, you're like looking for security codes and stuff like that to like open doors and access these like hologram memories of how everything played out. So you kind of learn everything that happened to these people. You learn about them as you're making your way through the ship. The biggest problem I had with it is when I first started the game, it's terrible. Like it's probably single digit frame rates. So it's like stuttering as you're making your way down the hallway. So I saved, got out, went in and like did a hard reset on my Xbox, and that seemed to fix it. I got in there and it's still kind of like as you're going to different areas, you take like this little lift, and it still stutters a little bit as you're going down, but it does, like as you're walking around it, I didn't have any more problems after that. So if you can get past that, and hopefully you don't really encounter it, but outside of that, like that game is excellent. I highly recommend getting into that one if you can. The other problem, and Bender had this problem, where I guess some people who go to launch the game, it doesn't start for them.
I've seen a few people have that problem.
Yeah, so
hit the press A and then nothing else.
Yeah, which that almost happened to me, but it went through. But like when I first started the game, I hit A a couple times because nothing happened the first time. And I just kept pressing A, and it eventually kind of skipped the main screen and launched me into the game. And I was like, oh, all right, well, at least we're in. So, but yeah, I think they listed a bunch of fixes on their site. So I guess they're looking into a patch to address that. I don't know what's causing it. I don't think they have any idea. So, but yeah, if you can get in there and look past like that opening area's technical problems, because I think Bender ran into the same thing. It's amazing. Well worth your time.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, actually, first statement, because it's me, Andromeda, right?
Mm-hmm.
Am I incorrect in my statement I've said before on that, where it's actually a really pretty game unless you're watching someone talk or move?
I think it's a gorgeous looking game. Some of the like running animations are a little strange. That's the only thing that I find to be a little weird, because he kind of, as he's running, he looks like he's kind of crouching a little bit, so he looks a little weird while he's running. But outside of that, like I haven't run into any weird glitches or anything that was there before that everyone was making, memes on. And it's a beautiful game.
This is like, because you weren't jamming all the buttons on the controller while running, trying to make him look as dumb as possible, so that you could then set it to music and have a better meme than your buddy who you saw put a meme up, so you could out meme him, because that's what the game became for a couple of weeks, because the internet sucks.
It really does. Some of that stuff was kind of funny, but yeah.
The question, that was all the statement. The question is, Game of Gold. We had Slime Rancher hit Games of Gold. Have you tried it yet?
Not yet. I did download it earlier.
You should. It's a really charming game. It's really addicting, actually. It's totally laid back. It's a very relaxing game. Though, not that there can't be some really horrific things that happen in it. Like if you think about them, they're really, really tragic and horrific. But it's kind of cutesy, so you can let it slide. But yeah, if you really think about it, what's going on is just like terrifying, nightmare fuel. But But honestly, it's really cute and really, really. We burned through my wife and I played through all of the preview content when it hit preview in like a 20-hour veg session, and then we put it away because we didn't want to get the rest of the stuff piecemeal as it came out. So we just started back up last night and just started our farm all over again. But yeah, it's great. Totally recommend. Everybody should pick it up and try it. It's free. It's Game of Gold. Play the game.
Yeah, that's why I downloaded it. Take
I'm just
anything
talking
for free.
Yeah, download them all
You won't like
every
it.
month. I won't like it.
No, the HK won't like it, but
Yeah.
no, it's fantastic.
Cool.
You still need to try it out.
No, I'm just kidding. I think you could like it. You might.
Nice.
Hey, you didn't like Bayonetta.
I hate Bayonetta. I don't understand I cannot. No, it's just too dumb. It's too dumb.
It is dumb. That's why
I
it's
don't
great.
No, it goes past being like charmingly dumb. It's not funny.
It's
like
gross
Charmingly dumb.
it's just the dumbest.
Body
shit
is
ever.
hair.
Her body is designed like someone's never seen a woman in their life. You know, it's like if you ask a 13-year-old boy who's been locked up in his basement change a thing because his eyes go in two different directions or something, what they thought a woman would be like. That's what Bayonetta's like. And then the action.
Next Level Gaming
don't-
does not condone or does not endorse any opinion made on this show by its host or I just have to throw that disclaimer
That's
out
fair.
there while you're
No,
talking
but I'm
about
serious. Like the action, I wasn't that. Oh my god, the combos and such. And it was like I could do whatever with the controller. It didn't matter. Like it didn't. Like there was no rhyme or there was no reason to do one thing or another in any given situation. It was just you can push whatever and she'll do some shit and then end up pole dancing in the middle of the combo. And I'm like firing guns from her heels, whatever. And it's just no.
Oh, good night, ladies and gentlemen.
I like that game a lot. I just thought it was fun to play through.
Counterpoint,
gross.
Frankie.
It's gross when you realize that her entire body is hair. That's
Yeah.
gross, but still, some of that stuff was
You
pretty
realize what's under that hair.
cool. More hair.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
clue.
she's basically the thing from Looney Tunes that was orange and would run from the Clippers, except if the cross-eyed kid in the basement who's 13 and never seen a woman imagined her. That's what she is. Like Clippers?
Oh,
That's an old reference. I'm aging myself. Kids don't know what I'm talking
I'm
about.
lost.
I know what
but
you're
thought
talking
it was funny.
about.
The old orange hair monster. Clippers?
I'm just
No!
I'm just realizing the amount of reports we're going to get on this podcast this week. We're going straight past downvotes and into
Yeah,
yeah.
it's fine.
That's why we already have 5. There we go.
People can hate me for the fact that Bayonetta is a stupid game that should never have
There you
existed.
go. There's your 5. There's your 5 downvotes. It's all on the Bayonetta team. It's all the Bayonetta fans.
Yep.
Oh, well.
Oh wow! Hold on, my laptop screen just got very, very bright, and now
I'll say it.
Wow.
holy cow!
Face melting. No,
Yeah.
like
An alien
Turn
abducted?
your lights
it's
off.
like-
That's like the basement radio filter.
Bayonetta is not even half as good as Deadly Premonition. Like Deadly Premonition is 10 times better than Bayonetta. That's a scientific figure. 10 times. That's science.
It's science.
Can't argue with science.
No, you can't. How are you gonna argue with science?
Yep.
All right. So now that we got that out of the way,
Ugh.
what's up, Nate?
Oh, nothing much. I'm having a good time. Glad we're back.
House sitting?
No, not house sitting. I'm sitting at the house. You're right. So,
It's not your typical desk.
yeah, I know. I was trying something new because something kept falling asleep. So
What?
my butt kept falling asleep.
Oh,
So I
There
switched.
you go.
Yeah,
that's
Comfort's important.
yeah,
yeah,
yes, it is.
exactly. And we got a new couch. So that's
It's a
what.
nice, comfy-looking couch.
Heck yeah! This is where I game too.
It's working on that ass groove.
You're right. I gotta see right now. You know, it's not what I like, so I have to sit here as long as I can.
No one Simpsons.
I got it.
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
got it.
I don't watch Simpsons. My bad.
I'm not cool enough for the Simpsons.
How you
I
man?
I fail.
You're a child. I keep forgetting. I keep forgetting how young you are sometimes.
Hey, Noble is younger than me.
How old are you? You're like 26, aren't you?
27. Noble is 26.
You're like 2 years younger than me. You know what The Simpsons is.
I mean, I know what it is. I've never watched it.
Super Cooper wants to know where your collectible is this week. There's no
Still
collectible in the
same
background.
spot. I need to move this over there.
It's a
I think
couch.
Nathan is the collectible.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right, here's
Come on.
the collectible.
Right here.
No.
I mean, no,
He sold them all for the new couch.
you're right.
It's a limited edition couch.
I
that
sold
came
them.
with Bayonetta.
What I did was I went and bought it at GameStop, and then I'm going to trade it back into GameStop.
Right.
Yeah.
You can get a better couch.
That's the Call of Duty World at War II couch.
Yeah, see? Exactly. You got it. I like this. I like your style.
But it can't be because they didn't have to buy the cushion separately.
You're right.
That's why he's only sitting on that side, because that's the only cushion he has right now.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's great.
The other was a Walmart pre-order.
These, yeah. There's some loot boxes for new colors, though.
Right.
Yeah, that's where the last cushion is. You have to get a
Yeah.
loot box.
You have to get a loot
Good
box
box.
in the last cushion. Well,
I
good.
can buy it. Boxes.
All right, so cool. Hey, we'll get that out of the way.
But the special micro.
Yeah, why don't we we get to talking about stuff. First up, pickles.
There it is.
Ah,
Slide
Yep.
this up a little bit. Hang on, because it's cutting into Frankie a little bit, so we're just gonna slide
That's
it.
all right. That's all right. They're
Yeah,
pickles.
well, I haven't had a chance to. I forgot to do that.
That's
So-
definitely not the cake.
Yeah,
Famous
No.
Dave's makes excellent pickles, by the way.
Now,
That's true.
I will tell you,
I don't like hot pickles though. Do they make regular pickles?
No, everything they do has that crazy spice stuff in it.
Yeah, that devil's spit or whatever.
My face.
That's a great spice, by the way.
It really is. Like, it's
So-
not overbearing. I don't think.
So if you ever need pickling advice, I will get you in touch with my mother. She makes them every year. She makes like a gazillion jars of them.
Can she send
And
some to me? Man,
They
I
are
love home
they are
pickles.
phenomenal. To be honest with you, they are very, very tasty.
The only
Gonna
problem
have
with
to have
that is once you have homemade pickles, you don't want to go to the store and get pickles anymore.
Well, true.
It's like,
Now
no.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. I don't think she cans them like that. I think she cans them, but she doesn't actually boil them like that.
Mm-hmm.
So
They look yummy already.
they look
Hopefully
like
they taste as good as they look.
yeah. You'll have to give us.
We'll know in about a day.
All right, we'll get it. We'll get the full report.
If you say it's sour,
I
that's a
swear
compliment.
to God, if you post a picture of those on top of that cake,
Oh my god!
I just want to make the cake now just to take a picture of it. Just to go search it out.
You know what?
Take pictures.
You're gonna make me get this picture of this cake.
No.
yeah.
I don't know why anybody wouldn't want this.
Uh,
Bologna's good. Mayo is good. Mustard's good. How could it be bad?
Oh.
Oh my god! I don't know. So, Frankie, close your eyes, dude. Just close your eyes. Hang on. Spoiler alert. Look away. I don't know why we're doing this.
I don't know why you're doing this either. I don't know why you're doing this to anybody. This is how you get down votes. Oh,
Look at it in all its majestic glory.
Yeah.
Bologna
not a
cake,
lie.
mustard, and mayonnaise frosting.
That's just amazing. I want it. You wouldn't even have to really chew it that much.
How did you, how'd you even find this?
Oh.
But that's the whole talk about the
Man.
mayo.
Ah.
it's clogging my arteries just by looking at it.
Ah.
In there.
Yeah, seriously, I want to try it.
You that's all you, brother. It's all you. All right, so
Good job. Now Annihilator's throwing up.
what?
Oh, God. That's better.
By the way, welcome to our fantastic chat room as always. Welcome to the culinary channel. Oh man. Oh god.
God.
It's fantastic.
We had 10 viewers and they're probably now all left trying to find a bucket.
Yeah, right.
You know,
So-
you could have that with fries, and just like run your fries through the excess frosting.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we're done. So, what's up, Super Cooper, Worry Wart, Who else is in there tonight?
Annihilator showed up.
Annihilator. See, and he's not even that
What
late.
timing?
Not
Perfect
even
timing.
that
Perfect
late.
timing. Yep.
Deacon.
Kapuki was
Deacon's
in.
in.
Yeah.
Jeff, Project Jeff 85. Welcome in. And De Niro, my brother. How are you, man? How's father life? he gets a rare chance to check out the podcast. Let's see who else has joined us to begin with, and of course Annihilator, our friend, who is not late, not all that late to the podcast today. So, all right, Shadow of War. So here's the deal, and this is just something that I wanted to bleed into a larger conversation about. It doesn't have to be a long conversation. I just wanted to get some thoughts on this. So it has been revealed that Shadow of War is going to have loot boxes. I guess they decided that, hey, if Overwatch can do it, so can we. And those loot boxes are going to be part of the Nemesis system. By the way, it also requires, we found this out too, that Monolith says Shadow of War is going to require an internet connection. That's something... I think
They did step back on that, I thought.
Not as a... So, I was looking at a couple of places. They have... If you see where they did, let me know. I'm going off of something that's about 5 hours old. So
Yeah, I'll see if I can find it again. But I swear I saw something about them on a Reddit saying that, single player wasn't necessarily going to require it. They did say as
but
of
isn't
now
it
it doesn't.
single player
but-
only? Not the game is single player only.
I'm misquoting. I'm not saying the right thing, but they said that it wasn't always on.
Okay, hang on.
online.
That same place actually updated their story a little while ago, so you may be right. So Monolith Jared just clarified on the game's Discord channel that the internet connection is only required to access the market. So that came via their official Discord channel.
Oh, so like everything else, and the internet just lets us travel over nothing again.
Right.
No.
Okay. However, the microtransactions are real, and basically they are going to be used for the Nemesis system, in which you can get gear of varying rarity in your loot chest. You can upgrade and equip those weapons and armor enhance Talon's character abilities. Loot chests can also contain XP boosts that help level up Talion faster. War chests provide orc followers of varying rarity to help forge a strong army. They can also contain training orders to level up and customize your orc followers. XP boosts are consumables that help level up Talion faster, and bundle packages, you can bundle them together for a great value. So, interesting that normally you get these things in multiplayer games. Now, we were talking about this before the show. This not necessarily the first single player game to get full microtransactions, but this seems to be a game that kind of, I don't know, takes it to the level of actually leveling your character up faster, things like that. So, the question is this a big deal? Is it something that, in a single-player game you don't care about? Is it not a good thing? Is it fine? Is it, where do you guys kind of stand on actually microtransactions in general, and then how you feel about them coming more into single player games? There's been a bit of pushback, at least on my Twitter feed today, from a few people who are for fair or not fair, they've gone from really interested in the game to not at all because of it. I can't. It's their to me it's their opinion, and I have no desire to tell them they're wrong. But it is interesting to see that this is not being not being accepted very, very highly. So I'm gonna go around the room.
Okay.
Go ahead, Peter.
I don't think in my opinion, it's not a big deal. The thing is, like, you want to cheat, by speeding it up, it's fine, then go for it. I mean, it's a single player game, right? So I don't see what the fuss is all about, especially with this game. I mean, so what if somebody cheats? I mean, it's,
That's not a multiplayer game.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I mean, why do you play this game? Because you enjoy the game and you want to, play this game and reach the end and be successful and, I don't know. Full rage, in my opinion.
FAUX rage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fox rage.
Fox rage.
Yeah.
But yeah. But in general, the whole thing about loot boxes and all the, if it's for skins and stuff, I don't really care. If in the multiplayer cases, if you could buy stuff that makes you better in multiplayer games, so you get an advantage over other players you play with, then I can see having a problem with it. Because that gives you an unfair advantage if you use your wallet. But for skins, who cares?
Yeah.
All right.
Cosmetic stuff, yeah.
Well, and it's your money. I mean,
exactly.
You're going to eventually. You're basically going to pay more for the game than the person next to you that's not,
Right.
that's grinding at it instead of just buying their way to the top.
Right. And if a developer, can make more money so they can spend more on the game or on the next games, I don't have a problem with that at all.
All right. All right, Frankie.
4K support ain't free.
Say again?
A 4K development's not cheap.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
No, I completely agree with Peter. I don't personally have a problem with it. It's up to you. They're not forcing you to buy these things.
Exactly.
Every single thing that you can get through these microtransactions, you can unlock through natural progress in the game. These things are here for people who just want to get through the game and not put the time into it, and it reminds me of like back when Split Second came out, like they had you could purchase an unlock to get all the car unlocks that you would get from playing through the campaign, which sucked because if you're playing online, you were, day one you're playing with people who had like all the best cars unlocked already, but it's a single player game. If you don't feel like investing the time in the game to unlock the stuff naturally and you'd rather spend the money, that's on you. They're giving you that option. So I don't have a problem with it. And I actually agree with Super Grouper too. Like, he mentioned that development costs are really expensive now, so microtransactions are here to stay, and they're in almost everything now. So get mad about them.
It's better than having ads, you fighting an orc, and all of a sudden, like, this orc was presented by.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Or you see a gecko running around, and you know how that goes. It's just, yeah.
Well, I mean, he did say 15% or more on his contract.
Maybe it's orc.
Oh, yeah. Deus Ex had him in there too. That's right. I forgot about that. I didn't see. You go like so long removed from a game, you don't even remember that it has microtransactions. And like, I didn't even remember Rise of the Tomb Raider had them until we were sitting there thinking about it. And I was like, oh yeah, that did have card packs or something you could buy. But again, this is all stuff that you can just unlock anyways. So if it would be a different story if they're hiding certain characters or different things behind these things that are actually really beneficial that you can't unlock any other way, then that would be pretty shitty. But I can't. I don't see why anyone's upset over stuff that you're going to unlock if you just play the damn game.
Yeah.
Where the argument comes in, that has some merit until it's disproven by gameplay is everyone has the notion that if you have microtransactions, you're skewing the rate at which you'd be earning stuff if you didn't have microtransactions to encourage people to use them. I've never seen it proven. Like, one of the more infamous times that argument was used was for Forza Motorsport 5 when it came out. It was a big thing because it was the first one to have tokens, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, you're earning money slower." I didn't see that to be the case. I do have a bit of an advantage there because as a top tier Forza Rewards guy all the time, I do get extra monetary rewards per run just because of my rewards level. So it's it was a little easier, but that's I played the game, I've earned it. So I didn't find though. I haven't really found a game outside of a free to play game that I've thought, this is purely designed to make me buy something. I think Super Hoover had it right. The development costs are high, and I don't care about microtransactions being a game because if I can get the stuff through gameplay and it's not proven to me that it doesn't feel super grindy trying to force me to do it, then I don't care. Whatever. If it, the idea that nothing should cost more than $59.99 is false anyway, because I was paying more than that for. I paid more than that for Zelda, Link to the Past, 20 plus years ago. And games cost a lot more to make now than then. So.
Oh, but that's not the norm, though. That's not. It's hard to take a single. A single example though, and apply it across the board. I mean, for the longest time, games were $49.99, and then they became $59.99, and minus a couple of special things here and there. I mean, that's been kind of the market set for games overall, and I think that's what.
Well, that's the problem.
Super Cooper
That's why the stuff exists, is because gamers have this idea that games shouldn't cost more than X, and it's just false, because they don't cost less than X to make, and on the amount of money that gets put into them, if you're looking at what gets put into making them, for them to make money on them and continue making them, especially as players demand more and more graphical fidelity and more animation and more voice acting and mocapping and all the things that are expensive. It's microtransactions that we're paying $100 for a game.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point too. Is like looking at what it actually like how these games even affect developers themselves already. Like you're like dumping hundreds of millions of dollars into making a game, and like the development times are crazy. Like it took 5 years to make Mass Effect Andromeda.
Right.
So like you're kind of like all your eggs are in that basket. Like now more than any other generation, I think like if you put out one bad game, there's a good chance that your studio is going to go under. So like the fact that game
or even one not terrible game. I mean, like Drive Club isn't stellar in my opinion, but it was not it did fairly well, and that studio is toast.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's an internal studio on top of that. Right. I mean, that's a good point. I mean, that was a game that. Now, let's be honest. It was plagued with issues, but it had legs. I mean, it ended up doing over 2 million. I mean, in unit sales. I mean, it wasn't by what should be. And this is a whole other discussion to have for another day. By real people standards, that should not have been considered a failure. But that's just there's an unfortunate reality to what's going on in the industry with what is and what isn't considered a flop now for unit sales. And that's that's something we can discuss for another day. But it's to your point, it's like there's no, I don't know, there doesn't seem to be much of a justification to push games that much higher. So I think if you do that, I think if you start pushing games into a higher bracket, you're going to start losing people at some point. I mean, I can tell you just for me, $60 a pop is very difficult. Start going to 70, 75. As a father of three, and if you're a AAA gamer or a AAA developer, you're going to lose me. And that may be also where we're seeing this new advent push in the indie space. Indie games don't cost $60. They're not as graphically intensive. They're not as, we all know what the indie games are doing these days, although some of them are quite impressive. But those games are only 20, 30, 40 bucks. And I think that is a market that's starting to benefit from what we're seeing. So developers have two choices. They can go the route that, selling every game for $70 instead of Zelda, or throwing in microtransactions to try to earn some back. And look, they're successful as all get out. I'll get back to that in a second, but Nathan, go ahead and give us your take on this.
I agree. I don't mind with HGK and other people. I see both sides. I don't have a problem with it. As long as you don't get an advantage in the game, I don't mind helping out the other person make more money if they need be for the future. But it's like, I don't have to do that if I don't want to. It's my choice, no one else's.
I was going to ask you particularly, because I know you like Call of Duty a lot, like that has microtransactions. Has that ever bothered you? Like, do you ever feel compelled that you need this gun skin or anything like that?
No. The only one I don't like is how they have skins that only last a certain length, and the people who buy them get a better chance of getting it. But that's the only thing I've had a problem with.
Dirty.
Yeah. Like, if something's only available for 14 days, obviously the people who pay for that to try and get it. But then again, I've known people who paid over $200 and didn't get the skin. So
my best microtransaction dodge was on Neverwinter. I played through the entire campaign of Neverwinter, enjoyed it, didn't pay a dime.
Neverwinter.
Played healer.
Yeah, I gotta start that game.
It's worthwhile if you like that type of game. If you're into the MMO, it's not bad at all for what it is, especially for being one of the early ones on consoles.
I hear Warframe is really good at not forcing you to buy everything.
No, and that game's gotten better over time. Like it was a frame ratey mess at the beginning, but they've put a bit of work into that game. I fired it up a few weeks ago just because I had played it at the beginning. And I was thinking when I got through some of my backlog, I want to get back into that one.
There were microtransactions in Rise of the Tomb Raider, right? And I didn't purchase any of them, but as for completing certain challenges in the game or a section of the game, it would reward you with tastes of them. You get little packs of cards that you could then get to. That's your first hits for free, right? And it wasn't bad at all. I mean, it was all stuff that like big head mode or whatever. And I guess one argument is that that used to be cheat codes, so there's that. But some of it was like almost like the skulls in Halo for different effects, like tougher enemies or better accuracy of their gun or whatever. And I didn't see spending any money, but I wasn't offended by the fact that I was given a choice to do so. And and people, it varies by the game too, I think, because like people don't seem to care a whole lot about the money that Overwatch must be making hand over fist.
Oh
with
my
these
goodness!
Rates.
Well,
and that's
Grand Theft Auto.
Well, not just
right.
that. I want to give you a. I just had it up. I want to give you a number, and you will flip out when you hear this. So, EA made in the last fiscal year. Now we're talking about April 2016 to March 31st, 2017. In microtransactions, $1.68 billion in microtransactions.
I bet you R-Star's got them beat.
And that's things. Well, I'm sure Overwatch is almost there with one game. But I mean, these are things that they're selling. Because the big thing for EA has always been the cards in FIFA, which they also started now selling in Madden as well. So these are and Mass Effect Andromeda packs and stuff like that. So there are, I mean, we're talking about over $1 billion in just that alone. That stuff that's why it's here. It's not even, I mean, anybody can, none of us, I think, have an issue with it because we're not buying it. Like, I'm not going to buy any of the microtransactions for Shadow of War, and I'll enjoy it just the same. If there's a game that has those kind of microtransactions that give people and some sort of advantage over other people in multiplayer, well, then I just won't play the game. I won't invest in that game if that's what it is, and that's how you, if you are so upset about it, that's how you stop it, is you don't spend money on it. But people are spending money on it, and that's the thing. Now, Overwatch's loot crates are not at all, they're all cosmetic. Like, there's zero that's enhancement to the game. But I mean, good Lord, I mean, I find it funny that people are spending that much money just to change the look of their character.
Or get sprays.
Yeah.
Right, or get
sprays. Oh my God, sprays. Here's a bigger thing I have with the transactions. If there's a negative thing for me, because like I said, I don't, just like you said, I don't care. I'm not spending the money. It doesn't really affect me. The effect, where it is affecting me, is when you look at something like Shark Cards and GTA Online, right? I've said it before. It's a bummer that the massive success that they've been able to print money with these digital Shark Cards for fake money in this game world has now made them completely forget making single player DLC, because the Grand Theft Auto game 4 had a really good single player DLC, and it's a real shame that won't happen for 5. I mean, if it hasn't happened by now, it's not going to, and maybe won't for RDR2. Because why would they do that when they can make cow cards or whatever they'll call them, and cowboy bucks, or I don't know, they're better at naming the shit than I am, but and just sell more online stuff. I don't have that's a bigger problem for me, is that I think is more damaging than whether I have to pay for some sprays.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, it also kind of probably deterred them from looking into something like LA Noire 2,
Right.
Why make another single-player game when we can just pump out Grand Theft Auto 6 and do this online thing all over again?
For another 10 years, and so that I think is a more discouraging thing than the other stuff. But the only answer to that is somehow having people not buy Shark Cards. Now, I don't understand buying Shark Cards in the first place. It doesn't compute in my brain. I would never in a million years do that, because it's stuff you could get in the game if you wanted, but there's also all kinds of cheats all over the place, people exploiting whatever. I can't imagine spending money on that online game. I can't even fathom it.
Yeah, I think it's the same thing with spam. People, you still get spam emails because there's people who still buy items through spam.
Right.
And it's the same thing with this, this loot box and DLC jazz. Once people stop paying into it, then it's not lucrative anymore. And maybe at that point, game prices will rise. Who knows? Don't know.
Season passes, I'm starting to wonder about, because I'm seeing more and more where things that I would expect to see in the season pass aren't being included in the season pass.
Yeah,
that's more concerning to me than cosmetics or whatever.
Right. Now, so here's one though, and I think if you're going to do that, if you're going to be heavy microtransactions, then I think you need to leverage that over season passes and things like that. Now, games like Titanfall 2 and Halo 5, I think one of the things that they get a lot of praise for is all of their extra content. There's no season pass for Halo 5. Any new map, any new game mode, anything you do is free. It was Titanfall 2 as well. I don't think they have a season pass. Everything they come out with, they're going to come out with and give, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm.
So, Microsoft in 2015 said that they had also done in a single game, Halo 5. They made over $1 billion in revenue in rec packs. So that can offset the cost of bringing DLC or new maps or things like that to out for cost, and I'm okay with that. And the rec packs the rec packs in Halo 5 didn't do much for you. Yeah, it gave you a temporary nice gun or an extra little boost in power or something like that, but it was just for that match. And then you had to gain them and garner them and stuff like that. And even at that, you didn't even have to buy them. You could still grind and get those as well. But
that one maybe annoyed me the most because they locked things like warthogs behind rec cards. And like if I'm playing Halo, I'm looking at a match going, is it really worth it for me to pull out a warthog? Are we going to lose anyways? Am I going to get shot in the face and someone going to steal it from me? Stuff like that. Like that I don't like.
Made you think about it though, didn't it?
Yeah, but I don't really want to. I just want to hop in a warthog and run people over.
That's not a bad way to go. Hang on, I'm gonna readjust my camera a little bit. I'm gonna have to send an email to XSplit because that freezing camera is really bothering me. It was fine before we hit go, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, you were stuttering. Yeah, you were fine before.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna send him an email right now.
So with these numbers, we're talking, $1 billion in Halo 5, whatever for the other big games. I mean, this is where the comment that got Phil in so much hot water about single player games not having the same impact. I mean, you can talk about, Zelda doing really well, had a huge impact as far as critically and for the brand, but Zelda's not going to make the money for Nintendo that Halo 5 made for Microsoft. It's just not going to happen. Horizon Zero Dawn is not going to make $1 billion. It's just not going to happen. So I'm not saying those aren't worthy games and that single player shouldn't be something that's provided and investigated and looked into. But yeah, it's just not possible.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, that's where all that came from. And fanboys want to be like, and come at them about these comments about, and it's like, shut up, because what we're talking about is Halo 5 made $1 billion, Horizon Zero Dawn won't, and that's the whole point. That's where that comes from.
It's fair.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So I think we hit that one pretty well. I mean, if you want them, get them. If you don't, then just play the game.
That's what it comes down to, really.
Don't let them ruin your enjoyment of the game, especially if they're not something that's locking things away from you. If you're enjoying the game, you're going to want to put the time in anyways. You're going to unlock the stuff anyways. Just enjoy the game.
Right. No,
exactly.
Pretty much.
Yep. All right. So I want to move to... I want to go out of order a little bit because I realize that my rant on my weekend is probably going to be very one-personed. So I want to keep the conversations going, and we're going to move to Crash Bandicoot. So a couple of things that Activision has said. The hell was that?
His mic.
Okay. Hold on, let me try again.
A quick shave.
Yes. My son and I had a very interesting and philosophical conversation on the way to New Jersey yesterday about my beard and mustache. It was very interesting. So anyway.
You told him he could grow whatever facial hair he wants?
Yeah, well, you know the story of this, right?
Oh, yeah, I know.
Okay. Yeah, I said to my wife, no, woman, I'm going to grow my mustache. And she said, that's fine. You're going to grow the beard too. And I said, listen up. And I grew the beard. So, yeah, it's just how it happened. So, this has been a generation of remastered games. I think we've all seen that. I think as many remasters as can possibly happen have happened.
Well, when you can sell them again instead of putting it on BC because you can't, that'll happen.
Well, yes. Of course, those games have to make it to BC, but that's a whole other week to talk about. So I bought that OG Xbox. But when you get a game like Crash, and remember too that the BC stuff can only go back so far, and the Crash that got remastered I think goes all the way back to the PS1, right? I haven't gotten it yet because it's my backlog, but it goes back to the first one, doesn't it?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the 3 PS1 games.
Right. It has sold extremely well. In fact, it charted MPD this past month. It's been at the top of the UK charts, and I mean the top. Like, it is the top selling game for the UK recently. And it has done so well that Activision wants to continue down that path.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because Prototype was,
No one cares about Prototype. You know what people care about? Spyro.
Nobody cares about Spyro.
Do they though?
Yes, people care about Spyro more than Crash Bandicoot.
What?
Banditoot.
Whoa.
Trash Bandicoot.
Whoa. Well, okay, hold on. Spyro
Uh-huh.
over Crash Bandicoot.
Uh-huh. Hands down. No contest.
I don't know who Spyro is, but I know who Crash Bandicoot is.
So there's that. Hold on. There's that.
Yeah.
But please, Frankie, make your case.
Spyro's a better game. There's no case to make.
Is he a dragon? Is that the
Yeah, it's a dragon. He started Skylanders. Then Activision forgot about him again. He's been trapped down in the basement with Crash for years, and they let Crash out, but Spyro's still probably in Skylanders prison, so...
Oh, Coop said the same thing. Don't worry.
Exactly. See? Spyro's an infinitely better game.
I have no idea who Spyro is.
Oh, I do.
I know of him, but I skipped it. I didn't really do the whole 3D platformer thing at his Genesis. I didn't play Crash. I owned a PS1, had no interest in Crash, no interest in Spyro. Didn't play Mario 64 until like 3 years ago. So yeah, I think I'm trying to think what my first 3D platformer was. I just wasn't that into it.
Now Spyro has, it has a storied history. It wasn't always Activision though, which is the other thing. So remember, Vivendi owned it for a bit. So did Sony. Sony owned it. Vivendi owned it. Which of course was also Universal because it was Universal Vivendi. And then Sierra owned it for a little while too. So it's kind of changed hands a bit. Activision's only had it since like, I don't know, 2008, something like that. And they've been sitting on it, yeah, but they haven't. It's been out on. I'm looking it up now. So it's been Spyro games on the Game Boy Advance, the GameCube, the DS, PS1, 2, and 3, the Wii, the Xbox, and the Xbox 360. So the first one came out September 9th, 1998, and I believe that one was a PS1 game. Because that was when Sony had it.
Mine might have been dead by then.
The last
Developed
one,
by Insomniac.
yeah. The last one was it? Was that? Hold on.
The PlayStation 1 trilogy was developed by Insomniac.
Yes, it was. So Insomniac, Digital Eclipse had a shot at it. Vicarious Visions had a shot at it. Eurocom, Amaze Entertainment, and Chrome Studios all have done Spyro games. The last one that came
it's a
out,
horror.
huh?
Spyro's a horror.
Yeah, I see that.
Whore.
It's been passed around more than
How dare you? She's a nice lady.
Spyro's a town hump. The village bicycle dragon.
Which bicycle dragon?
the bicycle dragon. The last one that came out was Legend of Spyro: Dawn of the Dragon on October of 2008. Before it came out on the Skylanders stuff.
Yeah. That's an expensive game if you can find it.
Oh. So, I mean, the last one that came out, though, was not that greatly reviewed. So you'd have to go back to, I mean, could you go back to Insomniac and tell them to make it? Or, I mean, how does Activision remaster that with all of those different...
Same thing you do with the Crash trilogy. Go back to the base 3, the ones that people loved.
Yep.
Give them the same
Make them
treatment.
pretty.
Yeah.
Make it not play as well. Won't matter.
Yeah, same thing.
And sell it for $40.
And
Yeah,
sell it for
sell-
$40.
$40.
Make it
fresh
more
coat of
difficult
paint.
through lameness.
Yeah, but
It'll go.
Remind people that video games are once hard. And put
I-
microtransactions in.
Yeah. Add microtransactions. No, the thing about the Crash thing that kind of kills me is when I look at something like Phantom Dust, which wasn't, made pretty in a really large way, but was given for free, has really unique gameplay that was put back together without source code by Code Mystics, who did a pretty amazing job. It's completely panned all over the place, critically, whatever. This comes out, it's prettier. They're selling it to you instead of giving it to you. And mechanically, it's worse because the hit detection's way off. And so it's more difficult than the original when it, through being lame as opposed to, an actual increase in challenge. It just doesn't work as good. And it's, a million seller. It's going off the charts. It just doesn't seem... It just seems like there's no justice in this gaming world when that can happen.
two different games, man. It's two different games with two different names. I mean, let's be honest. Phantom Dust is not Crash Bandicoot. There's a pedigree that goes along with Crash Bandicoot that does not go along with Phantom Dust.
Well,
Right,
there's
wrong,
a
or
history.
indifferent. I'm just saying. Look, the Wipeout collection didn't do as good as Crash Bandicoot did, and Wipeout was like a super fan favorite of the PlayStation community.
How much did the Wipeout the thing cost though?
Same.
Same.
39.
Yeah.
39. I was gonna say because the Crash being 4 games or 3 games for 40 was probably a big part of it.
Yeah, but
Essentially
Wipeout
got-
collection. The
yeah,
Wipeout
it's
collection was
3.
that too.
Yeah, but then there's racing. Anytime you put racing in, people
Yeah, but this was different.
racing always gets the short end of the stick.
Yeah, but this was different. Wipeout was a whole different type of racing. I mean, that whole 0G, and because remember that spawned a whole. You knew that was a good genre when you had all these clones that came up along with it. Cyber Speedway for the Saturn. You had the Quantum Redshift for the Xbox. You had actually I showed a picture of it.
I mean, really, Wipeout was just modern F-Zero.
Yeah. I mean, so yeah, if you want to even go back to that's not the. Yeah, it's kind of, but I mean, it was you talk about
And I loved Wipeout. That was what I remember. I had a PS1, and Wipeout was something I played the hell out of. I'm just saying, what we're looking at here is you're looking at a game that was made pretty, but not necessarily remastered terribly well technically. And it's people are gobbling up because people are suckers for the graphics, I guess, and nostalgia is a hell of a drug.
Nostalgia. I think it's more nostalgia than anything else.
I
think
don't know.
They,
I guess
if they didn't remaster these games, I think it'd still sell because it's Crash.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, Willis CZ said Extreme G. I forgot about that one too. Extreme G was really good.
What else was it against though? Crash. What was out around the same time? I mean, we were definitely in the trough, if you will.
I don't remember.
I mean, we're in that post E3, post Gamescom.
I think too,
We're not
like
post-Gamescom, yeah, we're pre-Gamescom.
a lot of people also bought that game for like $6 from Amazon. So
Oh right, there was that.
that happened.
There was that.
Oh, there was the like a oops.
Yeah, big oops. That was like a week after launch. People got it for $6 or something.
Right.
I would have bought it for $6.
and then traded it in for fun and profit.
So, but I think
buy two.
the point here being is that as well as it did, Activision wants to keep moving on it. They want to keep growing it. They want to keep now. They want to remaster, the rest of their library, I guess. Because remember, right now, I mean, look, Activision consists of what? Destiny and Call of Duty. They've got nothing else. I mean, I've talked about this before. This was a studio that at one point in time had some of the premier IP licenses in the
like
world.
River Raid.
Like what?
River Raid.
Like River Raid,
Laser
right.
Blast.
No, I mean like they had Spider-Man, they had James Bond, they had they were one of the it was them and THQ that like battled each other for who could have the best licensed IP. And now they're selling nostalgia because this is nostalgia. This isn't a new Crash Bandicoot. These are the original PS games. We're talking about Frankie immediately went right to Spyro. I'm trying to think what else they have in their arsenal too, that's not licensed that they're gonna have no trouble remastering.
They've probably got a long ways back to go, but I've never been really familiar with Activision. Unless you want to get in there and start remastering like the old Call of Duty games.
Pitfall.
Pitfall.
That was them.
Yeah. Remember the Mayan legend, the Mayan adventure, Pitfall, Mayan adventure. It was out for oh god, I think it was out for the Sega CD, the Sega 32X. Came out for the Jaguar. Great game. So I'd take a new Pitfall. And they are remastering StarCraft.
Oh yeah, that's out sometime this month, isn't it?
Is that this month?
So, I think. I'm not totally sure.
They did say summer, but they didn't. I don't know if they ever put an actual date on it. I'll have to look it up. But they're remastering that. I'm just trying to think what else. I mean, they do have Blizzard, so I mean, you could remaster a whole bunch of World of Warcraft stuff too, I guess.
August 14th.
August 14th. Oh, okay. So that'd be on next week's.
Oh yeah, next week.
Yeah.
I still think they should have brought.
I don't know if like a StarCraft or a not a StarCraft. I don't know what just happened. Something crazy just happened in my Skype, but okay. Yeah, am I still there?
Same.
Yeah,
Same
that was weird.
Okay. So anyway, I don't know about Warcraft coming back like that because it'd be it's just an RTS.
Willis also says, doesn't Activision have Turok? True. They do have Turok. I thought they were doing something with Turok.
Yeah.
They've said that many a time, and
I thought that was a
happened.
fan project.
From the original guy.
Maybe?
I loved Turok.
Turok was good. I mean,
It goes backwards or something.
I mean, looking over, I mean, they tried Prototype crashed and burned. They don't have Doom anymore. Pitfall would be one. I'd like Pitfall. River Raid would be a good one. A new River Raid would be kind of neat. Not even a remaster, because how are you going to remaster an Atari 2600 game? But a new River Raid would be actually kind of cool. Make it a nice shmup. Oh, that'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Maybe they can't really do Spider-Man stuff because that's licensed. Can't do GoldenEye because that's licensed. Legend of Korra they already did, and that stunk. Yeah, I mean, there's not much left after that. So I'm looking up the list, and it's like I said, outside of the licensed stuff, which they did a lot of, it's really not much they can go into the back catalog of except for Call of Duty, which is, yeah, looking back on it, maybe they lost Doom to Bethesda.
Wolfenstein too.
Yeah, they lost Wolfenstein to Bethesda, so they can't remaster any of that. I don't know. I don't know what's left. Maybe Spyro is all that's left. Unless they want to go back and do Kelly Slater's Pro Surfer.
I think they mentioned Tony Hawk.
Oh God. Yeah,
But I thought
guess they might need to after the last Tony Hawk. Get that taste out of everybody's mouth.
Go back and redo 2.
Yeah. I'm looking. I mean, they've got a good back catalog, but a lot of that stuff they don't own anymore. So, Shrek, they can't really. Shrek on the Xbox is really good. I liked it.
Yeah.
So.
Never played.
No. It was good.
I'm kind of worn out on the whole remaster thing, to be honest.
You remastered Thexter. I didn't realize that was Activision. Oh, that'd be nice. Yeah, I'm with you. It's why I didn't get it. I mean, I wanted to get Wipeout Omega Collection. I didn't. I probably still will, but I mean, it's just they're not heavy on my list. So, all right.
If
any
I
other
had
thoughts on
a
this?
PS4, that'd be one I'd consider, just because I love Wipeout so much on the PS1. But yeah, I think we're enough years into this generation and getting new hardware and everything. I think we can go back, do without the remasters at this point. Let them work on something new.
Agreed.
Hopefully with the next PlayStation, they'll get backwards compatibility, which will allow. Hopefully they'll do it like Microsoft, where Microsoft can do the end work on it once they get permission and let the developers make new games instead of having them remaster stuff.
Yeah, it's not going to happen as long as they keep selling. That's the problem. As long as people keep, it's like microtransactions. As long as people keep buying them, these companies are going to make them.
Nope.
It's just the way it is. The times they have changed. Oh, Ty, the Tiger game, Ty the Tasmanian Tiger. They could do that. They could remaster that.
Is that the guy who's on the boxes?
Was that them?
Yeah,
Tony the Tiger?
yeah. That was no. It was just
That was like
great.
Ubisoft.
It was a decent. No, Ty was so they did one Ty and the Tasmanian Tiger 3, Night of the Quincan for the Xbox and GameCube in 2005. I wouldn't mind if I don't think they could, because I don't know if they own these IPs or not, because they changed in the Sleeping Dogs, but they did have True Crime New York City and Streets of LA. I would take remasters of those, because those were good. Those were fun.
They published Gun.
Did they?
Yeah.
That wasn't very good, though. I mean, I have it, but it wasn't very good.
Yeah, it's sucky achievements. They didn't have stacking finishing the games on the levels.
That's the worst.
Yeah.
Remastered DJ Hero.
DJ Hero. That was a halfway decent Genesis game. All right.
Oh, they did Singularity. They
Yeah.
should remaster that. That game was fucking cool.
Yeah. Quantum of that was a James Bond game. I'm liking the idea of a Pitfall. I really liked the Mayan Adventure. I thought it was very well done for a 2D platformer.
Yep, I think that they could modernize a whole lot of those 2600 titles.
That would be neat. So that's not remastering. That's a whole different thing.
Yep.
But I think that would be a neat way to go. Imagine showing River Raid to a new generation of gamers, and it's just a whole different. Make it like a isometric Zaxxon kind of look.
Sure.
Or make it look like Dogos or Project Root, something like that. That'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
No. All right, let's move on. Unless anybody else has anything else to add to this one. Hearing none, we're gonna go. I'm gonna skip my rant yet again, because now it's time for Next Week in Gaming with
Right,
HTK.
Nice. Yeah, next week in gaming. Let's see, coming up, it's Graceful Explosion Machine for the PS4, and apparently Switch was released last month on PC. It's a scrolling arcade shooter. And we also have Mega Man Legacy Collection 2 for the Xbox, PS4, and also PC. And the Legacy continues with this collection of 4 of the iconic Blue Bombers classic side-scrolling adventures, complete with all new features and new ways to play these expensive games.
Yeah, no, that's an interesting one because I do like the X games, and they are hard to come by for the they're pretty penny for the SNES, so that would be that'd be worthwhile, I think.
This one has 7, 8, 9, and 10. Still no X games.
Oh, okay. Still though, I did like the first one, so I would consider that.
Yeah. I think 9 and 10 were those are the ones that came out on PS3 and 360, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'd buy this. I have the first one, so.
Nice. We also have coming out Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice for the PS4 and PC. It's a third-person action hack-and-slash adventure based on Celtic and Norse mythology. Also, Batman: The Enemy Within, Episode 1, The Enigma for Xbox, PS4, PC. So this is a confirmed second season of Batman: The Telltale series from Telltale Games.
With the Riddler.
I'm surprised it's coming out on the original Xbox.
I don't think it is.
Original Xbox? What original? OG Xbox? Way back
I was
when?
laughing because there's no Xbox One.
I mean, you say Xbox is Xbox One.
It's true. You're
Okay. Soon we have to say NX. It's like,
Yeah,
you know, that's
Right, XX.
XX.
It's triple X gaming.
But we have seen games that's still coming out for the PS3, so that's why I have to say PS4. So we also have coming out Black Hole for Xbox and PS4. Become a hero and discover the secrets hidden in a mysterious entity.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Sounds like a cake.
Maybe it is.
Oh my God, no! Please.
With some extra mayonnaise.
Yep.
We also have Cat Quest for the PS4 and Switch and PC. And
Man, that's a meowful.
Yeah. So you embark on a journey in a cat quest where an evil cat lord, Draco, has catnapped your sister and has plunged the fantasy world of feline grad into anarchy and chaos.
Nice. Nice.
Also,
I have to go order that right meow.
Exactly. maybe it's for Alcoholicost.
Right.
Right.
I mean, it's game of the year maybe. Also coming out, Icy for the PS4 and PC, and Icy is a 2D side-scrolling action game and a metagame in disguise.
Is it sponsored by Vanilla Ice?
Maybe. We should ask.
I will.
Maybe it's a do-it-yourself thing.
Oh,
Didn't you have a program on TV?
I think, yeah.
Which was like Home Improvement or something?
I think so.
Odd but true.
Yeah. Comet Crash 2, The Cronkoid Wars for PS4. It's a real-time strategy game. Another one, Lawbreakers, PS4 and PC.
Cliffy B joint.
Yeah. So you beat gravity into submission in Lawbreakers. It's a first-person shooter. I have not tried the beta. Anyone tried the beta?
No,
PS4?
sir.
Yeah,
Nope.
I liked it. It's got a steep learning curve to it. There's no tutorials for the characters. At least there wasn't in the beta. I don't know if there will be in the main game or not, but I liked it. It was a good time, so I pre-ordered it.
I've heard mostly good things.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
So it's only a multiplayer game, right?
Yeah, it's kind of
40?
30.
30.
But it's all like what am I thinking of? My brain doesn't work. Objective competitive modes. So I don't think it's launching with like team deathmatch. So it's like a battery extraction mode where you have to go. So essentially, the way all the maps are designed, like the middle area has no gravity, so people are flying around. You fire a rocket launcher, you go backwards, stuff like that. But there's like something you grab in the middle, whether it be there's a ball mode where you're kind of going and trying to score. So every time you drop the ball, you have like a timer. The battery extraction mode, there's a battery in the middle, so you're trying to get the battery back to your base. You let it charge. And I think the other one was capture the flag, but I don't remember. But yeah, it's pretty fun, pretty intense.
Yeah, okay. Let's see what else is coming out. Greta, Songs and Shadows for Xbox, PS4, and PC. And it's an isometric tactical RPG featuring a hand-painted world.
I wonder if that's based on the Masquerade series of tabletop games, role-playing, White Wolf stuff.
I do not know. Also coming out, Neon Drive for the PS4. It's a slick, retro-futuristic, 80s-inspired arcade game. Another game, Neptune Flux for the PS4, PSVR, PC. Neptune Flux is a story-driven open-world adventure game set in a sci-fi ocean full of mysterious and haunted beauty. So, might be interesting using PSVR. Then 8/10. We have Ironcast for Xbox and PS4 and Switch. It's inspired by Victorian-era science fiction writers such as H.G. Wells and Jules Verne. Ironcast is set in an exciting alternative history. Also coming out is Phantom Triggers for the Switch and PC. It's a hardcore neon slasher with RPG and roguelike mechanics.
That's a tiny build game. I'm really interested in playing that one.
Tiny price too? No.
Probably $14.99. Typically where their stuff falls.
Oh, yeah.
Tiny Build was
No Time to Explain.
Yeah, No Time to Explain.
I need to fire that up.
What a great game that was. Oh wow. I so enjoyed that game.
You're gonna have to take time to explain it to me. What is it?
There's no time.
No
I
time.
got the mixer, the E3 mixer thing. I got No Time to Explain, so I'll have to give that a try.
Yeah, I think you'll like it.
Oh, maybe then I got it too.
I don't think Stinger got any of those.
I didn't get any of them either. But since we went to a show last week, I just wanted to quickly shout out like Mr. Shifty's out on Xbox right now. It's another tiny build published game, I think. Game is awesome.
I keep hearing good things about that too.
It's really cool. It kind of reminds me of like Hotline Miami meets Die Hard.
Ooh.
It's pretty cool.
So last but not least, for the 11th, it's coming out for Xbox and PC. It's Jump Step Step. It's a puzzle jump step step. It's a gorgeous and funny programming game with bonsai trees, crazy robots, and a broken rocket.
Those crazy robots.
There you have it.
Nice.
Couple things I want to add really quick.
Yes, please.
Signmora EX is coming out on Tuesday as well. That's I think they're THQ Nordic. Sorry, Nordic Games acquired it with their buyout of all the THQ stuff. So they're remastering that for the PS4 and Xbox One. That'll be out on Tuesday. And on Friday, if you're a fan of physical games, Limited Run Games is doing Night Trap. 25th anniversary edition. Mike, I know you remember this game.
Oh,
in all of its glory.
Hold please while you are talking.
So it's limited to 5,000 copies. If you've never bought anything from them before, you want to be there at 10 a.m. or 6 p.m. on the dot. They go really fast. They had Wonder Boy. I forget the full name of the new Wonder Boy is, but that was on there last week with Lawbreakers. I think Lawbreakers is still available, but Wonder Boy sold out in like 30 seconds. So
why don't they have a pre-order list, so they know exactly how many copies they need to print?
There's an explanation for that too. So they did pre-orders for Skullgirls last year, and it's still not out yet because they tend to, when they list all their games, they kind of gauge interest in it and they'll pick a number and go with it. So like 5,000 is kind of on the higher scale for them. But they prepay, so by the time the games arrive, they want them back out because otherwise, when they did Skullgirls, that was last December, still hasn't shipped, and they have people constantly, where's my game? I bought it last year, it's still not here, and it still hasn't shipped. I don't think it's scheduled to go out until September, so just because they don't want people constantly, complaining about not having stuff, they still want to do pre-orders, but they're doing 5,000 for Night Trap. There's a collector's edition. I think they're doing 3,000 copies for. I think the Bunkers also, they're doing that one this week as well. That one's limited to 3,700 copies. So if you're into physical games, those are coming out this Friday. Night Trap probably going to be a nice one to buy if you're into reselling things because you're a dick.
Yeah. Do you have a find those on the on the shelf at GameStop?
No.
Nope.
Nope. They won't take them.
They won't take them.
Nope. They're not actual retailer releases.
Dang.
So you throw them up on eBay. The Wonder Boy one already, like, people are they did a collector's edition for that too. That was limited to think 3,000 for is that one as well. And they got people like flipping that thing for like $250 right now.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, if you're into reselling things, sure. But if you're into, you know, just having cool things in your collection,
Right.
it's good stuff.
Any of you guys have a copy of Panzer Dragoon Saga for the Saturn?
Negative.
Not anymore.
Yeah, not anymore. Me too. I have 1 and 2, or 1 and 2. Yeah, how much Saga is worth, Frankie?
A ton.
Yep, like $650.
That sounds about right.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
it's like the going rate for like a jewel case copy of Snatcher.
$800.
Oh, that hurts.
Yep. That's a good segue into my little thing. Because
You're welcome.
I saw both of those. So, thank you, HDK, for this week's In Gaming. And, of course, Frankie, for filling in some stuff that you liked. So, before we get into Juan's Retro Rec, and I'm gonna try to make this as brief as I can, but I normally wouldn't do this on this show, but I'm really angry about something, and this is the place where I think people have to know. And it kind of flows into Juan's Retro Rec because this is retro gaming related. So, and because I wanted to do something for the Next Level Gaming channel with this, and I'm so mad that I have no intention of doing it. And on top of all that, I talked about us going up and covering this thing as a group, and I'm glad that we didn't do it. So that's a great introduction to what the company formerly known as Coleco tried to pull on gamers this weekend up in New Jersey. Now, before I start with this, for those who don't know, the name Coleco has been synonymous with some fantastic arcade games and one hell of a console called the ColecoVision. Well, the ColecoVision as a console and Coleco kind of as a brand kind of died in 1985. It was bought by a company called Coleco Holdings LLC, which basically just bought the name and the logo and things like that. So August 5th and August 6th, which was yesterday and today, they were putting together this fantastical, great retro gaming expo up in Edison, New Jersey, where you can come up and you can play old arcade games and people walking around and cosplay, and there are going to be all these great speakers and panels, and you could come meet. Hold on, you come meet the son of Nolan Bushnell, Tyler. You can meet this Disney chick, Sophie Reynolds, and so on and so on and so on. So I had been eyeing this thing for months. And at one point, I said to you guys, "Hey, maybe a couple of us should go up and we do our podcast from there." And I'm thinking that this thing's gonna be really cool. It's got Coleco's name on it. It's got, it's gonna be this great thing. And so I took my son yesterday up 2 hours and 15 minutes, the trip up to the New Jersey Convention and Expedition Center, which looked like it was in a industrial park for starters. And so we walked in, and I should have known that this was going to be a bad day when we were really one of the only few people walking in. Now, we got there at we got there at about 12:30. So this thing had already been open for a couple of hours, right? So just to give you a couple pictures, so we got there, and out front there's a dude dressed up, and Jacob took a picture with him, and I'm thinking, all right, cool. So the first place we went to, as we're passing by, was like a panel with, I don't know, there was these, here, I'll show you. If you guys could tell me who these people are, you're better than I am. This was the list of panelists that were there. The first guy was canceled due to a flood. The only person that I recognize on there is Tim Lapatino, who wrote a book called The Making of Art of Atari, and then Tyler Bushnell, who has his own thing called Polycade, and he's the son of Nolan Bushnell. The rest of these people, I don't know who they are. We got there at 12:30. I poked my head into the Jeffrey Wittenhagen NES games you probably haven't played thing, and I'm wondering if maybe they just hadn't started yet because there's like 3 people in there. So as we're walking through, then we get to the arcade. That's the first place we go. It's this place. The company's called Funcade, and they brought some arcade machines, and they brought some sit down, consoles for people to play. That was about how busy that room was at any given time. I'd say there was about 50 people in the convention center, period. In the arcade, now, mind you, the name of the expo is the Coleco Expo, right?
Yes.
There is not a fucking Coleco game, console, nothing. The closest thing they had was a Donkey Kong Jr. game, and that was Nintendo, but of course, Coleco licensed it to put on ColecoVision. That was it. Over on the side, there was some old stuff. There was, it's funny we talk dysentery. There was a cabinet for, let me see if I can get this picture. This is my son playing a 3DO game. Next to it is an Apple IIe and Oregon Trail. So, if somebody want to grab that Shazam guy, please. Yeah, this is sad. The best thing that I could tell you about this was that here's the girl Sophie Reynolds. That's how she basically sat the whole time because no one wanted her autograph. No one there knew who she was. She acted like she didn't want to be there. I almost bought a $10. So after you pay $20 to get into this stupid thing, then it's another $10 to get her picture and autograph. I almost did it because I felt sorry for her because nobody was in line.
They shouldn't have let her have her cell phone so she would have felt like when all these video games were around.
Oh, it was horrible.
At least give her a Switch in her hands,
Something. I mean, really.
She's a Disney Channel star, too.
Here, I took some video. I mean, this is, let's see if we can. My son, of all things, found, there's an Outrun arcade game that had no sound. And then people playing Halo.
Yay, Halo.
Huh?
The only Coleco thing that was in this room, there's Rocket League, was a Coleco flashback machine. That's it.
Man, I feel old. They're playing Halo?
Oh, there it is.
That's it. There's a Defender game. No, like the guy's like looking at it like, I don't know if I want to play this. Somebody's playing Miss Pac-Man. I mean, this is it. This is your crowd. And then Sophie Reynolds is like to the left. I felt bad. I didn't want to.
Ah, Popeye.
Yes, which I did get my son to play. And then there was an Oculus Rift demo here. I did get to play that. That was kind of cool.
Yeah?
Yeah. I did
Finally?
get to play. It was kind of
play.
neat. So, I mean, now, so then we walk out into the area where people are selling things, where I got my $35 Xbox.
OG.
Yes, my $35 OG, which now I got to go and get an HD cable for. So we get out there. Now, mind you, again, I drove over 2 hours for this. There's more people vending than there are walking around. There's nothing there other than a bunch of people selling old retro stuff. This was another area of it. And you would think, like, I'm taking a picture there and, like, forgetting what's over to the right. Trust me, there was nothing over to the right.
Trust me. Trust me.
I mean, this was such a letdown. I can't even tell you. I was so angry, and I was so mad walking. Like they couldn't even, like, even the cosplay players. Like, this dude here was dressed up as Sonic. I mean,
Yeah.
this thing was so poorly run. It was horrible. There were no, like, other than the arcade and other than the area where the vendors were, there was like the people doing the panels. There was nobody watching those guys. There were no, like, contests. There were no tournaments. There were no.
Were there panels going on with no one in there?
Yes, like with 2 or 3
Today
people
we have.
in there. I mean, it was just horrible. This was like.
I wonder if it was the
worst.
first out. I wonder if it was like first outing for him or something.
It is, but when you are, this wasn't like the New Jersey Retro Gaming Club. This was done by Coleco. It had their name on it. They were the ones that were running it, and they couldn't get anybody real to show up to it. They had no. It was a Coleco Expo void of anything Coleco. Project Jeff was just saying it. There was nothing Coleco. Except that flashback machine. That was the only thing, and people walking around with little Coleco shirts that were working there. Other than that, there was nothing there that said Coleco. That screamed to me, "Hey, Coleco!" There was, and then they were trying to sell this new game. This was the coup de grace. So you go and you pay $20 for this, which is overpriced, and then they're selling this game. So now, here's something that is interesting about the ColecoVision. The homebrew, and I found this out later. I found this out kind of today as other people were talking about this Expo and why they're doing so poorly and how Coleco has been treating homebrew developers. So ever since the system has gone away, there have been tons of people that are still homebrew developing games for it. Actual real games, and some have been selling them retail. So this game, Sydney Hunter, which has been out on that and television and stuff like that, is a brand new game, The Sacred Tribe, for use with ColecoVision Atom. They're selling it there for $70. And trying to get you to buy it while you're there.
I'll take it.
So I was like, no. I think the most that we bought was Jacob wanted a patch. They were selling for $5 that said, just so we can show we were there. He had a good time. He had fun because he got to sit down and play Halo. A bunch of older guys that were playing Halo. So he got to sit down and play some Halo. And he got to try the Oculus Rift. And he got to walk around. As we were walking around the various vendors, I was, kind of explaining to him what was, all about old games and stuff like that, and he was kind of soaking that in a little bit. But if I didn't take him, I would have. I tell you, without some drastic changes, I will never do this again. I'll never go back there again. It was just not worth it at all. At all. I did, however, find. I think I posted a couple things. I found the worst game I had ever played there. The worst game. A game so bad that when I reviewed it on NLG, I got a profanity-laden email from the developer who threatened to sue me Seablade. What a horrible, horrible piece of shit game. Horrible.
Never played that one.
Yeah, Simon.
No,
and
I'm
Schuster.
intrigued to actually try it because it's
horrible.
yeah.
So
Oh, horrible.
yes, and then for those who did not know this, we were talking about the Wipeout collection. I had totally forgotten about this. There was a version of Wipeout for the Saturn before Psygnosis got bought by Sony. Little, yeah, were there microtransactions? So, I mean, here, to give you another idea of how sparsely populated this expo was. This giant Coleco expo, they've been for months, absolute months, pimping on their site and all over social media. So here's us walking into the let me reset that. Here's us walking in. Look at how many people are walking in with us.
Dude, how are you able to get
You're
in?
first in line.
It's 12:30 in the afternoon, Peter.
Yeah, I know.
Because I wanted to do like a cool video. The guy coming out of the bathroom. I mean, this is it. This is it. That's your expo. I mean, I had another video that I was going to do with an intro with Jacob. And you can see better behind me how many thousands of people are there. Look at all the people. Look at the Mario guy walking around. I mean, seriously,
Oh.
that is. Look at the tens of thousands of people that came to this thing.
Okay, the Mario thing was totally worth this entire segment.
He looks really real.
I think it might have actually been Mario.
Here, I'll show you again. There he is.
That's funny.
The sad
You know what the whole thing needed?
What?
They needed a Coleco bologna cake.
No.
That would have set the whole thing off. Really tied it all together
That would
Maybe that's why it was empty. The old
for
sample
everyone.
bit.
You just come in, you get a little plate. They hand you your bologna cake.
So that was my horrible adventure up to New Jersey to go to something that I'm really glad you guys did not go with me to, because had you have gone with me, you would have all stopped being my friends and quit the podcast and blocked me on Twitter. Because
Dude, we would have got to meet Mario though. So.
Yeah.
yeah, it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. I will never do that again. And Coleco, I keep forgetting that it's not the same Coleco. Like it's not
the same Atari.
It's not the toy company anymore. It's a freaking venture capitalist company that just bought the damn logo and the name and have no idea what gamers are all about at all. So, however, I did buy a $35 Xbox, so that's
Yay.
good.
It doesn't seem like a surprising price gouge either.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. And it wasn't in bad condition. I mean, it had some surface scratches on it, but it wasn't bad. So.
Does it work? Did you try it out yet?
Yes, I've already played it. Unfortunately, the rest of the stuff the guy had was way too overpriced. Like, I don't know when ColecoVisions became $120 to buy, but
I don't know. I haven't priced one of those.
Dude had an open box Sega CD for $100. He had an Atari 800 computer for $100. I'm like, no, I'll give you $15 for it. But and of course, I'm looking at it, and my son looks at it and says, "Where's the screen?" You have to hook it up to a television, son. It's back when you hooked them up to a TV.
Yeah.
I still can't believe how much he looks like you.
What, Jacob? Yeah, he has
Yep.
started to. So. Anyway, that and then I go over and I play the Outrun game, and there's no sound. How the hell do you play that without sound?
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Oh,
God.
So is the
Jeff,
arcade
you wouldn't
area
have enjoyed
like?
it. Say again.
Was the arcade area free, or did they charge you to
Free.
play
No,
any of
no,
those?
it was free. It was free to play. Thank God. Because if I had to pay money for that, I'd have gone nuts.
Do you feel like you played $20 worth of arcade games?
No.
Hold on. Before all
No.
that, let's back up here. You get to try Rift. What'd you play?
I played Popeye. I played
On the
Outrun.
On the
I
Rift?
played.
Oh, no, no, Rift. I'll talk about the Rift.
Oh,
the
Rift.
Oculus.
So the Rift was a that was what was it called? Robo something or other. Jacob knew what it was immediately because he's seen it on YouTube a lot. Basically, it was like a robot shooting gallery kind of thing. It was decent. It was cool.
Recall?
Robo Recall, thank you. Soup with he's the man. Yes, Robo Recall. And it actually, I gotta say, the visuals in the Rift. Oh shit, that's not what I wanted to do.
Broke everything.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, this
Whoa.
works.
Kind of cool.
Hold it.
Run with it.
Sorry. Hang on. Holy shit. Oh my god, that's how bad. That is how bad. Stop. What the? You know what? Now I'm just gonna let it go, just because this is just hilarious.
Virtual gaming.
So I said, Jacob, take a video of me playing, and this is what he does. He just so he gets a picture of my my body without my head. I mean, it was a
Pew
cool.
pew.
I will say it was a cool demo. I will say that it was a very cool demo. If I had an extra $400 lying about and a PC that could run this stuff, I might be interested. Yeah, my son is not the greatest videographer, so let's go ahead and.
Well, he's doing great service for the booth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know that. We know that booth now.
Yes, and you only got 3 minutes to play. So like after 3 minutes, he tapped you on his shoulder and said, "You're done, dude." Or he did. He said it nicely. He was like, "Thank you."
Did they wipe the thing out?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
I don't want Coleco juice.
Was there actually?
Yeah.
Was there actually? people
Coleco
playing?
mayo.
Right.
Yeah.
And notice again, there's no Coleco anywhere in there. So.
Yeah, that sucks.
All right. I have.
I'm just glad you finally tried a VR headset. That's exciting.
That's
So the first for
probably
you this week.
best
VR,
thing that's
Battleborn.
probably the best thing that's happened. All right. So without any further ado, thank you for indulging me on that. I've been kind of the sad part is I went from it being, this is okay, to I'm really mad that I drove that far and paid. It was not just $20 for me; it was $20 for Jacob too. So
That
it
kid
wasn't
pricing,
even,
that's awesome.
I didn't even get like kid pricing for Jacob.
And if you had just waited a week, you could have, or maybe 2 weeks, you could have Sonic Mania for that money.
Right. So basically, I paid $40 plus $5 for a patch for basically what amounted to a retro gaming flea market.
You could have gone to Best Buy and picked up the Atari flashback collections for the same price.
I could have done a lot of things, plus gas. That was 170 miles each way, I think, something like that.
But hey, it was quality time with the boy, so there's that.
There is that. Now that's the main
priceless.
thing. I have to say that, he had a good time, and so that's why if I didn't take him, it would have been much worse. But since he went with me and it was a day with him, that was enough to at least temper my anger until he was out of the room.
Only thing missing was that first father-son try of some bologna cake.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I'm out.
I also had to say I did meet a cool guy that he was there, unfortunately, doing press for them. I don't know how he got roped into it, but he took it like a champ. He has a podcast called Nerd Rage. I think it's called the Nerd Rage podcast. He's a good guy. His kids were very friendly, got along with my kids pretty well. See a full beard this future. His kids were very nice, got along with Jacob, and they were standing in line at the VR together, just kind of hanging out. And he's got a pretty cool channel and podcast himself, and I'm gonna bring him on one day to chat with us. So there was that.
So there was good things.
What are we scratching 45 records right now?
Yes.
So, anyway, that's my rant. Sorry, I just felt like I had to get that out of my system. It was just not great. But now we're gonna go to good retro stuff.
Good retro stuff.
Happy
Arguable.
retro stuff.
Arguable. Something I like. I don't know if I can call it really super good, but we're going to talk about it.
Well, here we go. Juan's Retro's recommendation.
Number 19, maybe? I've lost track.
Oh, I can tell you.
It's weird, I can't hear it. Once I turn the YouTube page on.
There you go. You play Mechasalt on your new Xbox.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to roll into some Lone Wolf too.
You should definitely get some Ninja Guy in Black on. That's me. I like to see Stinger die a lot.
Yes, it's true. It's a good point. Stream it.
I can't. I'm gonna need a component to HDMI converter first.
Baby steps.
I know.
Venture down to Ohio and hit up the Exchange or pick up some cheap games.
Oh, nice. I like the light sequence in
I updated it.
the ridiculous controller of Doom.
Update that, but you still spelled my name wrong.
What?
I hear it.
Oh crap! Well, you said not to change it.
I did. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I did. Don't
You
change
did
it.
tell me that. I'm gonna change it.
Don't
All
change
right.
it. Don't.
Look, your name is spelled wrong. My camera keeps freezing. It's just.
It's just life.
This
It's
is
all
why
right.
we have.
It's all
This is why we have so many downvotes.
No.
It's my fault.
Nope.
No, okay. Like I'm trying to look. At least you take it well. We're at 11-6, so this is good. So, all right. This is number 19, by the way. You are correct.
Nice. So we're going to talk about Tokyo Highway Battle. You can go ahead and kick it off. Tokyo Highway Battle, 1996 on the Sony PlayStation. One of my favorite PlayStation games from my early time with the system. It was pretty quick after release, fairly early in my time with the Sony. Of course, I had to get that music because who doesn't love the Sony intro? That's going way back. Love that. It was developed by Bulletproof Software, who was founded in 1984. That's become since then Blue Planet Software, and that was their little logo flashing right there. Famous for the biggest thing I think Blue Planet Software is probably known for is bringing Tetris to Japan, and so that was a big thing for them. And they're still the Tetris company on their website, but also they did Mule, Spot. If you remember that game, the cool Spot game. Yeah, Faceball 2000 on the Super NES, Yoshi's Cookie, and Star Wars Dark Forces, which is a pretty popular game.
Jellicoe was Bases Loaded.
Right. Jaleco, founded in 1974, defunct in 2014, I didn't know until now. Published games on many platforms with Bases Loaded, Super Bases Loaded, City Connection, Shatterhand, Brawl Brothers, which I loved. I'm about to try and find that on the SNES, and of course, Jurassic Park on the SNES. So that's one that we've already covered. What we have here is we have full motion video because it was that time of gaming. It was full motion video kind of made a resurgence when the PS hit, when the PlayStation PSX. I don't even know what the general nomenclature on the OG PS is, but that was a big thing. Crazy Ivan. There was a lot of it in the early games. A lot of like your character intros were all that, but that was the Drift King. He was kind of one of the early people in the Tokyo drifting scene that eventually became very popular worldwide later. Around Fast and Furious and stuff like that. It's a single player arcade / drift racer set in Japan in the 90s. It's part of an actual series of games that I didn't really know that all existed. There's actually 14 games in the series. It's the Shotoku, I can't pronounce that, battle series, inspired by illegal highway racing on the Shuto Expressway in Japan. So that was a big thing then, although Japan has since kind of cracked down on it in life, and not with cool super agents looking for orbs or anything, but like just like ticketing and cameras and such. But they've cracked down on that and not allowed that to happen as much. In Japan it was called Tokyo Extreme Racer. In Europe it was Tokyo Highway Challenge. But originally it was called Drift King. Tokyo Highway Battle Drift King, after the driver featured in the full motion video there, the Drift King Kaichi Tsuchiya. Players choose a car. There's no money. It's all points based, and you can choose one of 3 cars from the start. And you race along simulated Tokyo highways during day and night sessions. I started with the Toyota. Over here was known as a Corolla. Over there was a Sprinter, a Trudeau, or an AE86, kind of a famous car. Featured in the anime series Initial D, but you don't get a lot of money to start with. You put a couple parts on it and you take it racing. One of the things that kind of set this game apart from games of its time is it had a drift button, just a button to make the car slide, and that's a unique game mechanic to the day. You don't really see drift buttons. You might see an e-brake, which can kind of function like that, but I never saw a dedicated just plain button just to make the car slide. And so the physics are not terribly realistic, but they're fun because you can control the drift in a very digital fashion. You can get the car all sideways and then let go of the drift button and it just starts gripping at that angle and you just finish the rest of the turn. It's like magic. Each race is a head-to-head versus a rival racer, and it gets faster as you progress. You have to avoid car and truck traffic that is infamous for changing lanes all over the place all the time. Each race course has corners that have to be drifted. If you want to run a legitimate time, if you try to drive them normally, your car won't make the turn. You have to drift it. This is all about the drifting. The cars are not licensed, so you don't see any names or anything, which I guess would make it easy to do like a remaster on something like this. But you can rename the cars, which is kind of fun because you could make them whatever you wanted. But they're all recognizable. That's obviously a Sprinter. There's the MR2 and the Eclipse and of course the Skyline and the Sylvia, which were featured in the video at the start of the game in that section. Winning races allows you to get points, and as you win more races, more cars are opened up that are allowed to get more higher part value parts installed in them. Winnings are in points again. It can be spent on all kinds of parts, and one of the things I liked about it is there's a big library of parts. There's engine parts, and then down to the pistons, and there's intake parts and exhaust parts and suspension parts, transmission, wheels, tires, brakes, aerodynamics, and computer parts. And you can tune them for different levels of performance, like whether you want to build for a high-end speed build where it's not so good at the low end, or if you want to accelerate quickly but maybe top out a little sooner. It's interesting too that some upgrades will limit others. Like you can put a big fat turbo on it, but if you forget to pull the speed limiting fuel cut when you hit the top end, the car is rated for, it'll just cut the fuel to the engine and you won't go any faster. So you have to be mindful of kind of how the parts are put together. The races are all checkpointed, and here's the point screen going through and picking all the different parts and installing them. The licensed face there is an actual, mechanic from a drifting race team of the day. So it was, it was kind of the street cred for the game. But yeah, the races are checkpointed, like all racing games back in the day. You don't see anymore, but you remember all the old racing games. If you didn't make it to a certain point of each lap, you would the race would end. Which is just something that kind of died off. You just don't see that anymore. Failing to beat the rival just means you get less points, and you can keep trying indefinitely. There isn't really a game over scenario, but really the whole thing is just about slapping more parts on the car so that you can go faster, go more sideways, and drifting through the traffic. It was received fairly well. IGN gave it a 7 of 10 and said few racers allow for as much customization. Video Games and Computer Entertainment gave it an 8 of 10. Said the music's pretty good, and I would agree. I did like the music in this game. It doesn't skimp on excitement, and yeah, this was definitely different from everything else in its day. You were starting to get some of the sim racers weren't long after this, like your Gran Turismo came, but you didn't really have the whole drift scene featured in gaming like this did. GameSpot, in possibly one of the first instances of media bias, gave it a 3.9 of 10. Said it offers up mediocre fare all around. Parts don't seem to make a difference. And I kind of suspect that they didn't take the fuel cut off that I mentioned. I think they kind of just put parts on it and didn't really pay attention and didn't take the limiter off. And also that it only has the one view, which unfortunately I didn't show in the video, but that's inaccurate as well, because you can actually go to a bumper view where there's no view of the car at all. So there's the bumper and the third parties. So just completely wrong. And
they're really doing their job. That's great.
Yeah. So this is maybe that's where the fine legacy of the media we've ended up with today started. But available, it's really available. It's all over the place. You can get it online for less than $10. So if you're into the car scene and you like to do the tuning bit and mess with it, and hang car out sideways and do some early 3D racing, because we're back in the early. Obviously the graphics show their age, but it's like I said, it's one that I really like. Me and a buddy spent hours and hours racing through to get all the different cars maxed out, and it gets pretty hairy. Just with putting a couple parts on there, I think this car went from a 180 top end to 190 plus, and so just a couple of changes, and then you can move on to the next level, get the next car, unlock it, and keep building and racing. And it's just that whole street racing thing just really wasn't known at the time, so that was why it stands out in my memory. And of course the drift button, and of course if you've watched any Japanese coverage of drifting, it's the drifto. But that's why it's this week's retro recommendation.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
So it's funny you mention reviews of these games, because I remember on the Dreamcast I reviewed Tokyo Extreme Racer. And here we go. I gave it a 60. And I said, maybe in the future you could race through more than just one road in Tokyo. And I remember, it's funny because if you look this game up on Metacritic, and you look at all the reviews, it's actually still listed in Metacritic, even though the site's like no longer around at all. I got lambasted in forums for that review. I got people that emailed me telling me that, well, what do you expect? It's Tokyo. Like, okay, so how about more than one race? Like, basically you just ran around and you raced the same track and you looked for cars to race against. So that was, at the time, after I'm playing Test Drive V-Rally and Vantage Point and Vanishing Point rather, and stuff like that. that game just it was just not my cup of tea. I just remember getting my ass handed to me for that review by many people.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with the Tokyo Highway Battle is it was supposed to be, something of a representation. It's only so accurate, but something of a representation of the actual this freeway that loops around the city. That was the centerpiece of where they did all this stuff, because it's a ring around the city with different exit points you can go off of if you need to flee, and you can go off in one direction or the other. And it was a real thing. They did. It was something that had a street racing thing that really wasn't matched here for a long time, although that kind of did happen eventually. But yeah, no, it's like I said, it's a different feel than most of the races of its day. I loved it, so it's more this one isn't one of those. It's a good enough game for the $10 you can get for it, but it's not one of those ones where it's like, a classic that. It's not like a Desert Strike or a Streets of Rage 2. This is a retro rec because I loved it more than anything else.
That's fine. It just was no Metropolis Street Racer. Maybe that was the other thing. Is that Metropolis Street Racer to me was like one of the best ever, but then I played this and it's so but that's the beauty of it. So I'm glad you enjoyed it. And great retro rec as always.
Appreciate it. As long as people keep liking them, I'll keep doing them.
Absolutely.
I think we're going back to the NES next.
Cool. All right. Well,
oh yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, as always, folks, so we're gonna cut this one out unless anybody else has anything to add. I'm getting a little long. I want to make sure everybody gets out in reasonable time for work and stuff tomorrow.
Tomorrow, I'm gonna risk it. I got to do the Game of Thrones and maybe even the Twin Peaks before work, so I'm gonna be tired tomorrow. But that's okay. F them, I can't take a joke.
That's right. I'm gonna go watch Bar Rescue.
Yeah,
No.
I think next week if I had the video, we'll do the little bit on my story of driving the Lamborghini, because it really was something that I want to share, because there was something that I found really humorous about the whole thing, but I don't want to spoil it.
No, we want a full report once you have all the video and I can get it all together.
I will say the sound was glorious. Just the V10 behind my head. And they let me put the boot to it. I was a good way up into second gear, which is up into 90 mile an hour. So yeah, it'll be sweet.
Nice. By the way, maybe we'll do this. JD asked if I would give a quick synopsis of Starlancer. We talked about that on Twitter, so I got to go back and play that a little more. But Starlancer was really a great. I think it was a very underrated space combat game for the Dreamcast. It was actually visually more impressive than you might think. It was actually done by Digital Anvil and Warthog Games, and it was actually published by Microsoft. And then Ubisoft, Crave Entertainment. Also, when it came to the Dreamcast, hang on a second. I'll grab the clock. By the time it came to the Dreamcast, it actually ended up as Crave Entertainment. It was also online, so you could play up to 6 players online, so through SegaNet. Maybe I'll do a video on it for JD since he was asking. And here is also by Crave, Tokyo Extreme Racer 2.
Nice.
So yeah, so it is good. It was very Wing Commander like, which I liked. And so yeah, I'll do a little write up on it. I need to do something. I feel like I'm failing the channel with everything going on in my life right now. So that's why the podcast remains so important to me, because it's the one thing I get to do. And otherwise,
I'll be back into the swing of making videos like I wasn't in the last couple of weeks because I just couldn't talk for any length of time without racking myself a cough. So
no, it's okay. We all appreciate all the stuff that you give to the channel. I just haven't given anything, so I feel like I need to figure out how to make that get back into that swing. So
You could start buying us all Taco Bell.
there you go.
$5 boxes
there we
at the end of
go.
the month.
That's right, the Taco Bell $5 box.
I want mine with a side of hubris.
Oh no! Stop him! Stop him! I saw that picture.
I know.
That I might eat. Maybe. No.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Frankie will have nightmares.
Yes.
It really is nightmarish. I mean, I've been joking about wanting to eat that, but I just know.
Yeah.
No, that's that.
Oh, you're joking?
But yeah, absolutely. I did
thought
enjoy
you were
every time someone mentioned the stupid ketchup mayo thing. I'm like, yay, mayo won. I'm like, yeah, let's celebrate with some cake. And they're like, ugh. I'm like, well, you love mayo. This is all you, right?
Right. All right. Yeah. So Taco Bell for
One X.
Taco Bell for everyone. So yeah, that starts end of the month, right? 31st.
Well, yeah, every day at my home, $5 box for one.
You can't pre-order the damn console yet, but you can sure win one.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, hopefully they announce it at Gamescom, right? And then it'll be.
That's what I'm thinking. Because Gamescom is what, 2 weeks away now. So I have to think. There was a rumor floating around that it was going to be August 1st. I didn't think that was going to be it, but although interestingly enough, so we're going to discuss Gamescom probably a little bit next week, just as a preview. But I don't know if you guys know this, but Phil's not going. Phil's staying home and leaving it to Graham Boyd to.
He's all right though.
No, I think Graham is great. Honestly, I like him. I think as the counterparts go, with no offense to Larry, I think Graham.
Yeah. Larry was cool. He's changed.
Yeah, he really kind of has, and some of it I think is back when I was
tangent alert.
What tangent alert? Sorry.
Tangent. We're
yes. All right, so better. So
danger, Will Robinson. Danger.
You were gonna go watch Game of Thrones.
Yes, that's the plan.
Oh god.
Gonna cry. All right, folks. I'm being shooed off the stage.
Thanks, JD.
One has to go.
All right. So thank you guys. Thank you. I only got five of them in tonight, Frankie. So we'll have to try it next week. Yeah. Mother of God.
Yeah, I want to do it with the whole thing, but yes. Absolutely. Because I am actually Xbox police now.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you've been dubbed.
Yep.
You are our very own
sheriff of Xbox.
Can you just drink a bottle of syrup during the next show too?
Oh yeah, Frankie. Sorry for not inviting you to the football league.
What's a football league?
All right, folks, we're gonna get out of here so that Juan can watch his Game of Thrones. Sergeant Juan of the Xbox police can watch his Game of Thrones. Chat room, you guys are awesome. JD, I will give you some more information on Star Lancer. I might actually go fire it up right now. Okay. No, I'm serious. All right, thank you guys very, very much. Gentlemen, been a pleasure as always. We'll figure out how to fucking fix my stuff here. So
rock on.
All right, everybody have a great week. See y'all next Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is...
Y'all come back now, y'all.
This is the original Next Level Gaming Podcast, Off the Rails edition.
Game on.
Game on. Get your shit together, Coleco.
Put a PayPal donation link in so we can have microtransactions in the podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
You can level up your chat room stats.
Enhanced resolution.
You want
just-
capital letters?
I just give it a thumbs down. Thumbs down.
We made $1 billion in transactions.
Yeah.
Okay, thumbs back up. I feel better
Mods.
now.
The minute we try to make a Patreon, I want you guys to stop us.
R.I.P.
No. No, you don't stop.
Do not let
You
us
have to
make a
stop.
Patreon ever.
If you make a Patreon, we're definitely getting the cake. That's all I'm saying.
Oh God, no.